Welcome to episode 85 of Gintama. Last time, we had a very hard-boiled man, and it wasn't interesting at all, but we're continuing it this time, so I'm hoping this episode will be better. But yeah, last time definitely wasn't one of my favorites. But we'll see what happens. Gintama surprises often, so we'll see what goes on with the thief, the fox mask guy, which I actually am a little interested in. So we'll just see how this arc goes, how it improves a little bit. So we're going to get into it. We're going to watch the episode and discuss it. Subtitles and timer are on the screen if you want to follow along that way, or you can pull up the whole episode on the side. But either way, let's go in 3, 2, 1, play. From a few people I heard from, they agreed that episode 84 was not one of the best and said that that was basically the consensus, which is good to know that I'm not a crazy person. But yeah, they just kind of sat at that ramen shop for like an hour and a half, it felt like, and said hard-boiled a lot, and got old real fast. So now things are happening, like they left the ramen shop and now they're doing a thing. So it could be more entertaining. We'll see. But while the OP is playing, let me say that if you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel. Gintama comes out every Tuesday and Thursday, with other new videos every single day of the week. Also check out the description down below for Twitter and Discord if you want to hang out there, and Patreon, where you can get these videos very early, support the channel, vote in polls for what shows I'm going to watch, and get vlogs that will not be on YouTube. So, yeah, thank you. Getting pretty close to that big 100. Little ways to go still, but 85. We're getting there. That's going to be exciting. And here we go. Kozenigata Heiji. Sure. The hard-boiled guy. Hard-boiled eggs do not get crushed. Not even cannot. They do not. It's never happened. No one has ever crushed a hard-boiled egg. Apparently. David Dawson! Right. And she's looking pretty good. Biker chick Kagura. I like it. What? Oh, because of some bike rally. Okay. I was like, why would she be headed for Mount Fuji in your house? And now what? All these guys who look exactly the same are having this random little argument. Yeah. Stay on topic. Stay focused on the job. Big Edo Art Museum. He expected a challenge. He wants a challenge. Danger. You still got the wine glass. What is it? And you're shaking. That's nice. I don't think that was within your heart. It's true. You can give it up. Why would it be Amuro? If it was Gundam, then we'd stand a chance if he was wearing a giant mecha suit. Now everybody's just throwing up. Hi. Oh, nice. Good cover. Where did he go? Was he in the other? Was there another one next to those? No, it looks perfectly normal. Like, nobody would ever suspect a thing. Especially not with your faces twitching the way that they are. See, look at that. Perfectly natural, you blended right in. Oh, motherfucker. Okay, there was, but it was a statue. And, he's standing there, about to assassinate it. That's not what happened. And again, like, they hear his thoughts. But okay. No, no bar. Oh god. She just tripped over nothing, but we're saved by the fox. Damn. Are their heads gonna pop off? Nah, not quite. Alright, what's the deal with this guy? Says come with me. Yeah, sure seems that way. I wanna know why. What's the deal with the fox? No. No bar. I won't allow it. What kind of booby traps are gonna stop this man? I don't believe you that they're impossible. People getting taken down? There's multiple. So, do we have an imposter? How many are there? Okay. It seems like there's quite a few of them then. Is he going to show up behind you guys? Yep, there you go. So is one of them the real one, the original one, the one who was the Robin Hood type, and the new ones are just imposters who are sort of corrupting his persona? Something like that? That's what I would go with. Are you actually moving at all? Like, yeah, like, what's going on? Sure, but why? Why are you falling back? Are you on like a conveyor belt on the floor that's going the opposite direction and you haven't realized it yet? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Jump. Just do a couple little hops and you'll get there. Now you're just going backwards. Bye. Oh shit, spikes. You really didn't need, like, translator notes for those. Referent little things that talk about the references. I think people are familiar with Bambi and Dumbo. Balls! Are you... Oh my god. I was just about to say, are you sure? There's another Disney reference. Tangled. I was gonna say, are you sure? Can he really do it if he tries? And then... he fucking... did that. Somehow. I'm sure it does. The fuck is that? It's just a sleeping old woman. Why? Why is there a granny? Bye. Is it to test the... What... Was that intentional? Is that like... They send out a granny to... Because... And now there's a man. They send out old people, like, to see if the people will, like, save them and carry them, and that will slow them down. Or are they trying to commit suicide? Like, what's happening? Why is there a granny and a gramps? And now there's a younger man. What is happening? Why are these people coming down the conveyor belt? Are they just trying to commit suicide? Inheritance? Well, no, this guy thinks the money is all his, so did he try to kill his parents? But then what's he doing? What the fuck is happening? This is the biggest mystery of all time. A baby? No! Why is there a baby? What the fuck is happening? Yeah, apparently you are. Nice. The baby probably died just there. If they... Like, in that situation, they probably dropped it, and if it hit the floor, it died. But that's fine. I don't know what was happening there. Alright, the trickster fox. That's a... Alright, all that stuff. So nothing about that family? Like, we're not gonna check in on them? There's no update? Just, that's just done? Okay. That was ridiculous. He sounds like an older gentleman. I'm not gonna call it quits until I'm dead. Hard-boiled eggs are not easily crushed. That makes more sense. That's still false. It's an egg. You can crush it with ease. Alright, little backstory. But things are different now. Yeah, of course, if you've had that kind of relationship for so long. But the person, the heart. Okay. There's another one. You are stealing, this is true. There's a bunch. That is correct, a thief is a thief, but there are differences. For sure. It's the nine-tailed fox. It's a Naruto. Alright, so he had retired. He sent this note saying he would be here to bring them here. So they've been taking over his image while he's been gone. So how long has he been gone? I guess just since all the ones that seemed like they wouldn't be his MO. The ones that have been harming people or stealing from people who need it. Alright. There's only 8 of you, though. Not counting him. Alright, so he was a part of them at one point, so they make sense. He was different than all of them. Oh, a coward to not kill a child. Yeah, okay. So they did it on purpose. To tarnish his fame and draw him out. Alright. Are you gonna attack them with a golden tofu or spring a... Holy shit! You just set them all on fire! God damn! I said spring a trap, but I didn't think it would just be setting them on fire. That's more like your typical trap. Turning the stairs into a ramp. Is that more gas? Oh god. Yeah, that's bad. In combination with that, the stairs are very deadly. And of course they grabbed him. Alright. I mean, I wouldn't trust him, but I don't think she'll fall into the fire, so maybe she'll be okay. Oh, she punched him in the face. And there they all go. Okay, well, he kind of did catch her, just, you know. Why? Is everybody else burning to death right now? Whoa, he got hit. Shit. He got hit pretty severely. Damn. It's in the name. And that was him! This whole time! So there was more complexity to the backstory than I thought there might be. He saved him this whole time! He taught him the hard-boiled! Which I'm actually very upset with him for. He should never have done that. So he had this other something else that he was chasing, not quite realizing what it was, not realizing the whole time who the man was that he was chasing. Dude got stabbed pretty severely. I don't know if he can make it. You know, in the last episode, I was gonna say that maybe it's the ramen shop guy, but I didn't because they said that the fox had appeared elsewhere and the ramen shop guy was there. So I was like, well, they couldn't be him. But now we know there were like 9 of them. He probably escaped. His body was never found, so he somehow got away with that injury. But yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's the ramen shop guy, just because it felt like like that could be a twist that ends up happening. And they were talking about how he's hard-boiled. Now I wish I had said it. It's just at the time I didn't know how many foxes there would be. I didn't know there'd be fucking 9 of them. But I was right. And he's still here. He's right here. He's perfectly fine. Good on him for surviving that stab wound. I don't even know if it's a ramen, whatever kind of shop it is. Okay, Kozeni got to Heiji. I hope we never see you again. Let's talk about that episode. There's more after the ED, though, I can tell. So we'll wait. But yeah, I like the stuff they added with the fox mask and those people and the backstory surrounding all of it. And there's just more happening in this episode as they're actually going to go resolve the problem. So it was definitely an improvement. It was definitely better. I just don't like the character. He kind of drags it all down whenever he speaks. And I don't ever want to see him again. It started funny in the last episode with the false start, which is the weird shit going on there. But, after that. Interesting to have Kyubey in the ED now, knowing that she's a girl and all the other guys are just these shirtless guys. And of course she has the bands on, but I always just thought before that was just because he's more feminine and more androgynous. So, just kind of to add to that, G is so damn skinny and there's Hata's ass. And also in that image of Kyubey, it looks like there's like a little bit of boobage, but you could just assume when you thought she was a boy that was just muscle, or just adding to like the androgyny, because sometimes they'll do that. Male characters who are more feminine, they might draw them a little more femininely just to add to that. But now we know she's the only girl that shows up in that ED, and the bandages make sense. What the fuck's going on here? Hijikata just gets stabbed in the back too? What the fuck? He just got stabbed through the heart. That was sudden. What the hell? What the hell's this after credit scene? What the fuck? Okita? He finally did it. He finally killed number 4. What? The fuck is happening? Is this really happening? Is this a dream? Is this a dream sequence? Or just some non-canon random skit? Like, what the fuck is happening? This can't be real. Yeah, okay. God damn it! If that was actually a preview for the next episode, how exciting would that have been? That would have been so cool. There's like 4,000 Hijikata clones, and Okita is going around killing them all. Now I'm just disappointed. I guess we're leading into whatever the next episode will be, though. Alright, I guess it's gonna focus around Okita. Oh, it's his sister. Okay, I won't watch any more of the preview. But yeah, I want the 4,000 Hijikatas. But either way, Okita episode. That's cool. So let's talk about this one first. Alright, episode 85 was definitely better than the last one, although I am glad to be away from this detective character and moving on to something different. This one was entertaining. Episode 84 was just straight up boring to me. After the funny introduction, this character just was not entertaining enough to hold my attention, especially with what they were doing in the episode, which was mostly nothing. It was mostly them sitting around talking to that guy, and it just felt like it went on for a really long time. This one went by much faster. This one was more enjoyable. You've got them actually taking action. We've got more going on. They've got this whole chase scene with the conveyor belt and the spikes. There's a room on fire. There's stuff happening. We learn more about his backstory and the fox and everything going on with that, which was pretty satisfying. It was good. It was much better. So I'm happy about that. And I assumed it would be, even if Gintama has an episode that I don't love. Even if the next episode is a continuation, there's a good chance it will be better, just because Gintama does so many different things, and often does improve. Like I said with the Tama story arc, even though I did like the first Tama episode okay, the next two were better, and they just got really, really good as it went. So I'm glad this one was better, but definitely not one of my favorite little arcs that we've had. His whole thing about, like, coming off as hard-boiled, trying to portray himself as that way all the time, always trying to say things like that, like, we gotta go back to the bar and regroup, but actually he's just trying to escape, or he's got that thing, and they're like, you really can do it if you try, and then he just somehow ties himself up. Like, I feel like that should be funny, and I'm sure I've seen other instances of that type of character, where it has been somebody who's just really trying to portray themselves as tough, but they're just a scaredy cat or a fuck up. That's definitely been done, and it's definitely been done well. There's just something about this guy that's just not funny. I don't know if it's just like his character design is uninteresting, his voice isn't funny, which is like the point, because he puts on like these like the tough guy voice, I'm a hard-boiled detective, but just all of it together, like the character design, the voice, like none of it comes together to be funny. And then there's just something about it. Something about the execution of this character. I can't even fully put my finger on what it is, where it just doesn't land for me. And I think for a lot of people, I've heard that this is generally considered not to be a super great arc. Something about him just doesn't click with me. I don't know if it maybe works better for a Japanese audience, because the whole hard-boiled thing is definitely a thing in shonen manga. That was Senior Pink's deal in One Piece, so I don't know if that's something that is more funny to the Japanese, but for whatever reason, this guy, I don't ever want to see him again. I genuinely don't. So I'm glad we kind of had a resolution, like, we learn about their backstory. Foxman survives. If he'd have died, I wouldn't have been surprised at all because of the stab wound, but by the end, when he falls into the fire and they say they never found a body, you know he's going to survive, and then, you know, he survived there together, so you can never see them again, and that's a satisfying resolution. But yeah, I did like the way it played out. It was fun. Kagura on the Harley is great. The spike wall. What the fuck was happening? I love, as you know, I love it when Gintama does random bullshit that doesn't make any sense, and you're like, what the fuck was that? Like the horse, or the manager guy from, was it the Kochikame episode? Yeah, when you're just like, what was that? And you just never know. What was happening there? Like, you can put little pieces together, like he was talking about an inheritance and how it's his, but none of the pieces add up to a complete puzzle. Like, what was happening there? I had so many possibilities going through my mind. Like, did they send this granny on purpose? Because they knew that people would save her and thus weigh them down and make them easier to catch? Is it a test of their morals to see if they will save her? Is this granny committing suicide? Did this granny wander onto this accidentally? What's happening with this granny? And then there was a grandpa, and then there was a man, and then there was a baby. And he was saying, like, the inheritance is his. And what the fuck was what was that? And where did they go? I guess they're fine, but like, why were they all just sitting there calmly going toward the spikes? What kind of mind state were they in to where that was okay? The grandma was asleep, but at the very least, the young guy was like talking. Was he talking in his sleep? Were they all asleep? What the fuck was happening? That was bonkers. But yeah, learning about the backstory, the other Fox masks, that was all good. It was pretty satisfying. I figured it was something like that. I theorized about that in the last episode, how it seemed like it was most likely other possibilities as well, but I would have hedged my bets on this guy being the original, and he stole from the rich, and he didn't hurt people, but now we've got an imposter who's kind of breaking that code. That's what I was going with, and it is that, but it's more complicated than just it might seem, because there's actually 8 imposters, and they were all a group of 9 back in the day, and he wouldn't kill a child, and he didn't agree with their tactics, and he decided to leave, and they felt betrayed, and so they wanted to draw him out, he wanted to draw them out, and now they're trying to take him out. And not only that, but the child was the hard-boiled detective guy, so there's that connection, and he's been chasing him all these years without even knowing, and that's pretty interesting, like, this whole time when he's been chasing him, and of course getting this close attachment to somebody that you've been following for so many years, even if it's as a detective and thief relationship, and of course respecting, in a way, his code of conduct, even if you disagree with what he's doing in general, and just that kind of feeling inside that he couldn't identify that this is the man who saved you. Although also, fuck this guy, because he's the one who taught him the hard-boiled thing. So it's all his fault. It's funny when the Fox Mask guy does it, but when Detective Man does it, it's just boring, and so how dare you teach him this? But yeah, that was all nice. I'm glad that we got all that detail. I think it all worked out, and I was right about it being the ramen shop guy, even though I didn't say it. I was thinking it in episode 84. It just seemed likely with the amount of attention that it gave to that character, calling him hard-boiled too, and it just seemed like the kind of twist that might happen. But at the time, because the Fox Mask guy was off doing other things while we were there with that guy, I was like, okay, I guess it's not him, but turns out there were multiple ones, so I was actually right about that. So yeah, this story arc was definitely not one of my favorites, but this episode was much better than the last one. The after credits scene was so jarring and so fun, but so disappointing, because I was like, what the fuck is happening? Okita just stabbed Hichikata. Wait, what's going on? There's so many possibilities. Is he being controlled? Are there actually so many Hijikata clones? How'd that happen? What's going on? Then I realized pretty quickly that it was probably a dream. But man, that's disappointing. I would love to have seen that come to fruition. But either way, we still do get to focus on the Shinsengumi next time, specifically Okita and his sister, so that's awesome. That's really exciting either way, so I'm sure it'll be funny. But yeah, not much else to say, I don't think. You know, this guy had some small little individual funny moments, like when he stood behind the statue with the gun. He's got a few in there, but usually it just didn't really resonate that well with me. I don't know if it was just too often. I think that's a big part of what it was. It was just too repetitive, and I'm still a little burned from episode 84, where I just can't get into his shtick because of how often it was used, even in that episode alone. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways you can pull off a character like this really well, and it's a shame that, for me, it wasn't pulled off well here, because it's a funny idea, and it's something that could be good. Maybe if it's just used more sporadically, maybe if there's a little more to it than him just kind of saying the same things over and over, like, oh, we gotta go to the bar and regroup. Maybe if it was more of his actions, more things like the fucking bow tie thing, him accidentally getting tied up. Maybe if it was more of him just genuinely fucking up, or visual gags where he genuinely, like, does run away to a bar, maybe that stuff would be funnier, more so than him just saying it. That probably would have worked better. But luckily we had the fox mask to make it more interesting, so let me know your thoughts on this episode and this arc, and we can talk about it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. Check out the Patreon and all that stuff linked down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.